Prison Planet, Verses in Honor of Master Shinran Shonen by Gansen John Welch Sensei. We now live on a prison planet populated by dumbed-down, indoctrinated people who are deluged by a non-stop barrage of lies and propaganda. Truth, reason, logic, evidence and justice have been crushed and annihilated. Only complete conformity and obedience will suffice. We are constantly harangued, threatened, intimidated and coerced into obeying mutually contradictory orders. There are now no longer safe havens or secure borders. We are herded like sheep and cattle into gratuitous competition, conflict and endless battles, where we are in a constant state of fear, and where all that we hold dear is ridiculed, humiliated and destroyed. Where is the key that will unlock the prison gate and the prison cell that confines us in this samsaric hell of folly, ignorance, greed and hate? That key is provided by Amida Tathagata, so taught all the Amida Dharma Masters, as well as all the Bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Amida Buddha, with unsurpassed wisdom and compassion, created his Pure Land, where evil passions, suffering, sorrows and sadness are non-existent, where lies, hatred, fear, folly, ignorance and greed are absent. In Sukhavati, we will finally be free from all our blind passions, negative karma, craving, grasping, greed, ignorance and folly. So, let us always appreciate Amida and his Dharma with an attitude of great gratitude. We should each and every day think and say, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, Amida Buddha. Homage to Amida Buddha. I take refuge in Amida Buddha. The above verses were inspired by the following passages from the writings of Master Shinran Shonen. Chapter on True Buddha and Land. The Vow of Immeasurable Light. The Vow of Immeasurable Life. A collection of passages revealing the true Buddha and land. On the Pure Land Way, compiled by Gotoko Shinran, disciple of Shakyamuni. Reverently contemplating the true Buddha and the true land, I find that the Buddha is the Tathagata of inconceivable light, and that the land also is the land of immeasurable light. Because they have arisen through the fulfillment of vows of great compassion, they are called true fulfilled Buddha and land. There are relevant vows that were made, the vows of light and of life. Further it states, Good sons, there are two kinds of enlightenment, eternal and impermanent. There are also two kinds of Bodhi, eternal and impermanent. Nirvana is also like this. The enlightenment of non-Buddhist ways is called impermanent. Buddhist enlightenment is called eternal. The Bodhi possessed by Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas is called impermanent. The Bodhi possessed by Bodhisattvas and Buddhas is called eternal. The emancipation of non-Buddhist ways is called impermanent. The emancipation of Buddhist ways is called eternal. Good sons, enlightenment, Bodhi and Nirvana are all eternal. All sentient beings are constantly oppressed by immeasurable blind passions and lack the wisdom eye. Hence they cannot see. And desiring to see the practice of precepts, meditation and wisdom, all sentient beings through practice see enlightenment, Bodhi and Nirvana. This is called the Bodhisattva's attainment of enlightenment, Bodhi and Nirvana. The nature and characteristics of enlightenment are in actuality non-arising and non-perishing. Because of this, it cannot be grasped. Although enlightenment is formless and featureless, it can be seen, it can be reckoned and known. In reality it possesses functioning. Such things as the sentient beings' minds are formless. They are neither long nor short, neither rough nor fine, neither bound nor free. They are not visible. Nevertheless, they exist as things. Further it states, Good sons, because there is great pleasure, it is called great nirvana. Nirvana is without pleasure, and because it possesses the four aspects of pleasure, it is called great nirvana. What are these four? The first is eradication of all pleasures. If pleasures are not eradicated, it is called pain. If there is pain, it cannot be called great pleasure. Because one eradicates pleasure, there is no pain. Being without pain and without pleasure is a great pleasure. The nature of nirvana is absence of pain and absence of pleasure. Hence it is called great pleasure. With this meaning, it is called great nirvana. Further, good sons, there are two kinds of pleasure. The first is that of foolish beings, the second is that of Buddhas. The pleasures of foolish beings are subject to impermanence and destruction. For this reason, they are without pleasure. The Buddhas have eternal pleasure. Because there is no change or alteration, it is called great pleasure. Further, good sons, there are three kinds of sensation. First, painful sensation. Second, pleasant sensation. Third, sensation that is neither painful nor pleasant. It is said that what is neither painful nor pleasant is in fact painful. Although nirvana is neither painful nor pleasant, it is called great pleasure. Because it is great pleasure, it is called great nirvana. Second, it is called great pleasure because it is great quiescence. The nature of nirvana is great quiescence. Why? Because it is free of all that is disruptive and clamorous. Because it is great quiescence, it is called great nirvana. Third, it is called great pleasure because it is all-knowing wisdom. That which is not all-knowing wisdom is not called great pleasure. The Buddha Tathagatas, because they possess all-knowing wisdom, are called those of great pleasure. Because it is great pleasure, it is called great nirvana. Fourth, it is called great pleasure because the body is undecaying. If the body was subject to decay, it would not be called pleasure. The body of Tathagata is diamond-like and undecaying. It is not a body of blind passions, not a body of impermanence. Hence, it is called great pleasure. Because it is great pleasure, it is called great nirvana. Further it states, because it is inexpressible and inconceivable, it may be termed great complete nirvana. Because it is pure and genuine, it is called great nirvana. What is the pure and genuine? There are four aspects of purity. What are these four? First, the 25 forms of existence are called impure. Since they are severed forever, it can be called pure. Purity is itself none other than nirvana. Such nirvana, being in existence, can be called nirvana. In reality, it is not an existence. All Buddha Tathagatas, in accordance with the worldly, teach that nirvana is an existence. For example, there are cases when one calls someone who is not one's father, father, one who is not one's mother, mother, and those who are not actually one's parents, parents. Thus it is with nirvana. In accordance with the worldly, it is taught that the Buddhas are existent and are great nirvana. Second, the activity is pure. The acts of all sentient beings are impure. Hence, they possess nothing of nirvana. Because the acts of all Buddha Tathagatas are pure, they are termed great purity. Because they are great purity, they are termed great nirvana. Third, the body is pure. When the body is impermanent, it is called impure. The body of the Tathagata is eternal. Hence, it is called great purity. Because it is great purity, it is called great nirvana. Fourth, the mind is pure. When the mind is defiled, it is called impure. The Buddha mind is undefiled. Hence, it is called great purity. Because it is great purity, it is called great nirvana. Good sons, the one who grasps this is called good son or good daughter. Further it states, the Buddha Tathagatas do not give rise to blind passions, hence they are termed nirvana. The wisdom they possess is unhindered in penetrating things. Hence, they are termed Tathagatas. Tathagatas are not foolish beings, Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas, or Bodhisattvas. Hence, they are termed Buddha nature. Tathagatas are, in body and mind and in wisdom, unhindered in pervading and fulfilling the immeasurable, boundless, innumerable lands. Hence, they are termed boundless space. The Tathagatas are eternal and never changing. Hence, they are termed true reality. Because of this, the Tathagatas do not actually enter ultimate nirvana. They are termed bodhisattva. Further it states, Bodhisattva Kasyapa said, World-honored one, Buddha nature is eternal like boundless space. Why does the Tathagata speak of it as in the future? When the Tathagata states that those lacking the seed of Buddhahood do not possess any good, Does this mean that they cannot give rise to thoughts of love toward fellow disciples, teachers they have in common, parents, relatives, or wives and children? If they give rise to such thoughts, is this not good? The Buddha replied, Excellent, excellent, good son. Well have you asked this question. Buddha nature is like boundless space. It is not in the past or future or present. All sentient beings have bodily existences of three aspects, the past, future, and present. In the future they will attain the body adorned with purity and be able to see Buddha nature. For this reason I have spoken of Buddha nature as belonging to the future. Good sons, for the sake of sentient beings, I sometimes explain a causal matter in terms of the result. At other times I explain it in terms of the cause. Therefore, in this sutra, life is explained as nourishment, and form, which is to be seen, is termed the tangible. Because the future body is pure, I teach it to be Buddha nature. World-honored one, if such is what the Buddha teaches, why do you teach that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature? Good sons, although the Buddha nature of sentient beings is non-existent in the present, it should not be called non-existent. It is like boundless space. Although nature is non-existent, one should not say that it is non-existent in the present. Further, although all sentient beings are impermanent, still their Buddha nature is eternal and unchanging. For this reason, I teach in this sutra that sentient beings' Buddha nature is neither within nor without, like boundless space. Neither within nor without, it exists like boundless space. Although that which is within or without is boundless space, we do not consider it one or permanent, nor do we consider it existent everywhere. Although boundless space is neither within nor without, nevertheless all sentient beings possess it. Sentient beings' Buddha nature is like this. It is like those lacking the seed of Buddhahood, of whom you speak. Their bodily, verbal, and mental acts and acts of grasping, seeking, giving, and understanding, though they perform them, are all wrong acts. Why? Because they do not seek the principle of causation. Good sons, the green herb is bitter in its seed, roots, stalk, branches, leaves, flower, and fruit. The acts of those lacking the seed of Buddhahood are like this.